what tends to happen when we go into the thing, and what was happening to me in that amusement park was like, oh my gosh, I have a deadline. If I don't get this thing edited, I'm going to do this. And it's going over and over like a broken record. But if I had planned and said, okay, I have these 2 days, or better yet, if I would have told the client that, hey, this is the day I can deliver the project, and I knew I had an adequate enough of time, then I would have totally enjoyed the amusement park.
If that's some of the things that we're struggling with, Steve, would you say the first things that we need to do is plan it, get it on the calendar, and then once we have that, then start working on feeling better about what, like what Giovanni was saying.
Well, yeah, yes, it's a mix. So the first thing is it's by design. So if you don't like your life, you're the architect. This is a choice, right? Like, happiness is not going to come. So if you're listening to this right now and you're like, oh, I got to work now and one day I'll be happy. I can tell you, I've been with many millionaires and a few billionaires, and they'll all tell you that did not make their happiness. In fact, some of them will even have told me they didn't even have money until they were happy. People think that money changed people, but I've learned now, you have to change the have money. That's the real story. Money doesn't change people. It amplifies them. So if someone's a jerk, they become a bigger jerk. If somebody is awesome giving person, then they're going to give more, and this has been true to form. So back to the mindset that Giovanni's talking about. I mean, here's the thing that we know, if this helps at all, and this does get deeper and it takes more time than this podcast will allow us, but maybe we can bring this into some consecutive conversations here. The thing is that if it's by design, just like I said, and you want to choose happiness, you got to choose it now. You've got to just take it and go and make that choice, because living is now. Robert Dilts said, and he did a lot of meditation and dimensional mind approach that Carl Buchheit introduced me to. But he says the point of most power is right now. The point of most power is now. And so in that, we have to take control of that power. So it's not going to be perfect, to your point, Todd. We just got to give it a go. And so you got to give yourself permission, back to Giovanni, to take that time and know this. This is what I had to learn, is that it doesn't matter. Like, the whole point of feeling guilty that you're not at your computer. Well, you know what? If and this is statistically true, and you can go look up Adam Ruins Everything. And it's the work. It's how Adam ruins work, or whatever. That's the title. So go look that up. I'm sure you could find clips of that. Hopefully you can. If you can't, message us on the podcast. We'll find it for you. We'll find some of this data. But it is known, and multiple sources, that we're not efficient when we start working longer hours. Just think of it as like a drill. And I use this metaphor a lot. If you have a battery operated drill and you only have one battery left, or one battery at all, and you're drilling holes and you need to do 10 more holes, and you had a goal to finish those 10 holes before you go home for the day, and or finish for the day, you're drilling those holes and it's going ring, the battery's about to die and it's barely spinning that thing, and you're sitting there and a little bit of sawdust is coming. You're not even able to drill the holes. At some point you're going to stop, and then you're going to put it down, plug in that battery, go home. And then in the morning, you're going to drill those 10 holes in less than a minute. Zip, 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 done. And now think about in yourself, when in our life have we ever pulled an all-nighter or worked really hard and then we got stuck and we went to bed, and then right then when we woke up in the morning or shortly after, we fixed the issue, right?
Yeah.
You're nodding your head, Todd. So yes, you've had this happen, right? And Giovanni, you've had it happen too, right? See. Yeah, Todd has to remember it's a podcast. No one can see you. You got to say yes. We do have this on YouTube. So the people on YouTube saw Todd, okay. But for everyone else, Todd said yes with shaking. So the thing the point I'm making is, then if we know this to be true, then giving yourself permission to go relax, to go on that hike with your family and fully be present and letting all that go, taking a break and then coming back, then we can do it. And the best thing that helped me with it, Todd, was the plan. So my encouragement to you, when you're going to go on that hike and you're committed to going on that hike, write down all the things you need to do before you go on the hike. So then when you get back, you're like, that's the list of crap I need to do. Because what tends to happen when we go into the thing, and what was happening to me in that amusement park was like, oh my gosh, I have a deadline. If I don't get this thing edited, I'm going to do this. And it's going over and over like a broken record. But if I had planned and said, okay, I have these 2 days, or better yet, if I would have told the client that, hey, this is the day I can deliver the project, and I knew I had an adequate enough time, then I would have totally enjoyed the amusement park. So I would have been like, oh, I can come back. I have 2 days to finish that project, yada, yada, yada. So it goes back to, like you said, Todd, communicating with the client, communicating expectations, but then also managing expectations with self. What are you committing to yourself? And so then the best thing I do is I write it down. That's why we have the WOW schedule program. The WOW schedule method is about planning tomorrow today. So if we plan tomorrow today, then at the end, the reason I started to have to do this is because then I can leave, go have dinner with my family, enjoy the evening, knowing I already have a plan for tomorrow. So I would suppose, and let me ask you this, Todd, when you went on that hike, did you have a plan for what you were going to do when you got back to work?
Absolutely not.
Yeah. Hence the wandering mind, because you're trying to design what you need to do instead of having done it before and then have that freedom. So that's why when we plan our fun first, we plan those hikes, we plan the time to go to the amusement park or whatever else we want to do. And then we got to plan the work that we want to get done in said time so that we can like work on that. And then that's what's iterative. Then we might make a mistake and say, oh, I can get that done in 4 hours, and it really takes 10 hours. Then I have to, so then I'm like, oh, I learned from that lesson. That takes 10 hours. I better block that. If I do 2 hours a day for the next 5 days, I can get that done. No problem. Then tell the client or whoever is expecting something, hey, I'll have that done in 5 days because I'm going to do a little bit each day. Or I'm going to work longer 2 days, do 5 hours one day and 5 hours the other. But then this is all by design. Make sense?
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that. Oftentimes, being so client centric, I have a tendency to sacrifice my free time, my family time, to get the work done. And oftentimes when I do what you're saying and communicate that with the client, they're like, no problem. You could turn it in on Monday or turn it in on Tuesday, or, go ahead, take your time. So oftentimes just asking and communicating with the client instead of sacrificing those things that you think you need to sacrifice to get it done.
Hey there, I want to give you something really big. It's called Clear Path to Customers. It's the way that we get the right language to get the right client. I like to call them your wow clients, so that you can have more results, more revenue, more raving fans, and more referrals. And I want to give this to you absolutely free. And all you have to do is go to stevenapolitan.com to check it out, or you can look at the description here. We'll put the details there. As always, remember, choose gratitude and create freedom.